All right, hey Mike. First time out on a bike in a few weeks. So just going to some really flat, kind of cross-country, single-tracky stuff. These are the same trails that I take Darby for walks on, and hopefully get Lindsay out on these trails soon too. There's this section that goes around this pond here. That's pretty cool. And it's not like the main trail, so I don't think it gets ridden very often. But this is my favorite place to take Darby on walks because there's hardly ever anybody on this trail. But not fast, no real features, just kind of flat, flowy, easy, cross-country style stuff. I think this is kind of like your Markham trail. Much less elevation, obviously, but when I watch your videos of that place and you like describe it as kind of your easy going, nothing crazy trail, that's what this is. Funny little flat turns like that sometimes screw me up. There we go. I think I've said it before, but these trails make me wish that I had an e-bike. Just you can kind of rip up and down these things, get some speed going. Actually, I wanted to check something else out quick. And that's really the only scary part about walking Darby here. Is people come ripping through these things around corners on e-bikes. I was like, holy shit, hard to, it's just dangerous, I guess. But we keep him on a leash most of the time, and definitely on the single track he stays on a leash so he doesn't interrupt anybody's ride, and we can control him quickly. It's been hotter than hell the last few weeks here. So today it's a little over 90 right now. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning almost. But damn it, man, like just get so cooped up. Gotta go out and do something outside. It's like get Darby exercised early in the morning so he doesn't have any heat issues, and then I'm just gonna accept that I'm gonna be sweaty and disgusting and maybe can't go as far as I usually go. But gotta get outside and do stuff though. One bummer about this trail system is like, it's not crazy by any stretch, like at all. But they used to have some big wooden features built in here, and they weren't crazy either. They were just, you know, like elevated berms, kind of like in the skills park that they have here. But they took it all out, and they're doing some serious forestry work here, and I'm a little nervous that they're gonna kind of get rid of this entire place, which would suck because this is the closest trail system I have to where we live. It's not the most fun, but if you only have a little bit of time, it's easy to go to. Also worked on my camera settings with Lindsay the other day. So the last few videos I made have been extremely washed out. Like all the sand just looks like complete white snow. And I think that my exposure was set too high, so it's set back down to 0. And hopefully that fixes it. Such a bummer to talk through a whole video, then you get home and look at it and it's like, it ain't it. All right, so like this is an example of a trail where we would let Darby off leash. So it's wide, we can see people coming for a while, and it's not really that dangerous here. Ooh, she's a hot one. Yeah, if I came out to your place and rode your trails, I'd be so pumped. And then if you came out here and rode these trails, you'd be like, this really sucks and it's too hot. Let's go get pizza. And I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Hopefully before too long we'll live someplace with a little bit of elevation, maybe Tennessee or North Carolina. The other thing that people see on these trails is bear. We actually have a good amount of black bears in this area. So I haven't seen one before, but I've been on a few rides where dudes in the parking lot are like, hey, careful with your dog, or, you know, keep an eye out. We saw a black bear, you know, wherever. So I'd like to see a bear one of these days. But we see deer, we see a bunch of tortoise. I call them the trail turtle crew. Snakes, I saw a couple rattlesnakes here before. No alligators here, there's no real water for them to be in. But at any rate, just a good day to get out and spin the wheels a little bit. Today is Sunday, so we have to go right. They have different difficulties of trails here, but really the difficulty is dependent largely on how narrow the trails are and how many routes there are. So like this is one of the more difficult trails, and it's really just because it's curvy, some roots, little pedal catchers, stuff like that. It's not feature based at all. I'm trying to think what else to talk about. Nothing really that exciting. Biggest thing is Lindsay and I finally started making some concrete plans for the wedding, and what that's going to look like. And what we came up with is maybe March or April, when I have enough PTO saved up, we're going to take 10 days and drive from Florida out to Vegas, stopping along the way at different campsites. So between now and then, we're going to put a bed rack on the truck and a hard shell rooftop tent, so it's a lot easier to set up and take down. That was my biggest complaint about my last rooftop tent, was it was soft top, so you had a lot of room, but it was heavy, bulky, didn't look that cool. But it was also just kind of a pain in the ass to set up and tear down, especially if you just wanted to move a few sites down. So we're going to shell out for a hard rooftop tent this time. But at any rate, we're going to stop, in Texas and Arkansas and all these different places and kind of find some cool campgrounds. Stop at the weird, kitschy roadside attractions like the world's biggest rocking chair or biggest ball of yarn or whatever, because that kind of stuff is kind of our jam. Ultimately, by day 4 or 5, end up in Vegas. Get married somewhere out there, just the two of us, maybe Darby, bring him along. Then they have this cool neon sign graveyard out there, so we're going to try to book a photographer to go out there and just get some pictures taken. I don't think we'll be able to afford like a ceremony out there at the graveyard, because it's probably booked up already and it's super expensive. But I think all in all, with like campsite fees, food, truck gear, everything factored in, it's like less than $10,000. So still a fraction of the cost of like a traditional wedding ceremony. It'll be cool. It's kind of like our thing. Like we go out, we get tattoos on a whim, listen to a lot of punk rock vinyl. So, getting hitched in Vegas and hitting all these weird, not cool roadside stops seems like our jam. But we're excited about that. Jesus, that's hot. So there's a massive puddle up here, and I wonder if they took the wood features out to go around it. Nope, they didn't. That's good. No puddle right now, but there usually is. A super short, rooty trail that kind of connects the big trail to the other big trail. So now we're heading out to a trail called Hammock, and it's my favorite trail here, but it's the furthest away from the parking lot. There is a spot on the side of the road where you can pull off on your way here and start directly at this trail, but there's only room for one car to pull off the side of the road, and also I feel like it's kind of cheating, so just just do the long way. All right, Sunday, we're going right. That was the turtle back there. On the 29er today. Play this game in my head where, like, if I could only keep one of my bikes, which one would I keep? And I don't know. 29er definitely feels faster and like feels better underneath me. The 27.5, man, it's so super light and bouncy, and it's got the same suspension. 160 up front, 140 in the back. This has 142, but it's just lighter, same suspension. It just feels smaller though. So for long rides up flat, it's not as fun. Or maybe it feels like more work. But I like that it's bright pink, super light and bouncy, and I don't know. Maybe I would just get rid of both my full suspensions and keep my hardtail and kind of throw the game, I guess. I don't know. The lady that does all of our frames, like for our tour posters, has always been really cool. Started going to her as soon as I bought the house, because I thought it would be like Mary's Frame Shop, where there's a bunch of artwork that you can just buy. We had all this extra wall space all of a sudden, so I wanted to fill it up. And so I went in there and said hi, and she just seemed really, really nice, really welcoming. But she didn't have any art for sale. So started bringing her some prints from tours that we went to, and she's done a really good job at framing them all up. And over the course of like the last 3 or 4 years, we kind of became friends. And so last week, the week before, we went out to dinner with her and her boyfriend, and they're both just like super cool people. And I used to joke with Lindsay, because Lindsay sells her bracelets that she makes and stuff. It's like, hey, next time you talk to her, ask if her boyfriend has a mountain bike. And I felt like a little kid, kind of like, what kind of toys do you have? Like, let's play. But it turns out he does have a mountain bike. So met him, seems like a really cool dude. So we're gonna try to get a ride scheduled soon. It'd be nice to have someone to go riding with every once in a while. I'm pretty pumped about that. It's weird making friends when you're adults. My fire station was easy because you just live with these guys, so you don't really have a choice. Military is easy because same reason. Then like the civilian sector, like my job now, I don't know if I would ever really like have the opportunity to go out and meet and like build a friendship with the guys I work with. And it's not because they're not good guys or cool guys or whatever, but it's just like when you work remotely, you just chat over Teams and it's always about work stuff. And it's really hard to get that conversation to the next level where you find some common ground. So definitely weird making friends as an adult. So glad that we were able to link up with the frame shop lady. Her name's Christina, and her boyfriend Mikey. And hopefully that turns into once in a while hangout, which would be awesome. It's also weird when you don't have kids. So if we had kids, it'd be a lot easier. But since we are not adding to the gene pool, all of our friends that have kids, it's just tough, kind of. We don't have a lot of things in common anymore. Good people for sure, but I'm weird around kids too. I don't know how to act around them, so I can't just cut loose and crack some beers open or whatever and hang out. I just don't know how to act around kids very naturally, I guess. Oh yeah, happy to be out on my bike today. Holy cow. One of my good buddies from the fire department is like a surfer skateboarder dude, and so they just opened up a pump track near where I live. He lives down on the coast in Merritt Island, but he's going to come out one of these days with his boards, and they have a skate park and a pump track, so it'd be cool to kind of hang out and do some teenager stuff with him. Go get some pizza or something afterward. And speaking of teenager stuff and pizza and all that good stuff, I remember going biking back in the day, like around Cheryl, and like digging through yours and Reni's cup holders in their car to try and find enough money to get like sour Skittles out of the vending machine at the laundromat or something, or go to the bookstore and grab some candy. Definitely not books. But I don't know how much money I stole from you guys over the years, but hopefully it's been paid back since in some way or another. Pretty light hurricane season, actually completely dry hurricane season so far. I don't even think we've officially had a tropical storm this year, so everything's nice and dry and trees are not down all over the place, which is nice, but I'm sure hurricanes are coming, which makes me a little bit thankful that we rent instead of own now. Don't have to worry about replacing a roof, or I don't know. Not our problem, whatever goes wrong. Let's see how we're doing. Almost 3 miles. Feels like it should be more. This is the road entrance I was talking about earlier. Something I've been noticing on a bunch of videos, it's like a lot of these hardcore riders don't wear gloves, which blows my mind, bro. Like, I've probably ridden without gloves less than 35 times in my life. This seems like better grip. My hands get so sweaty. If I fall, it kind of like doesn't dig up your hands. I don't know. Just kind of crazy to me that guys don't wear gloves. I think you wear gloves all the time too, but I could be wrong. But like that Remy Matillier guy, French dude who just crushes it. A bunch of his videos, no gloves. You're a lunatic for a lot of reasons. Gives you wicked sweet tan lines too. just about done with this trail. They do Wednesday night rides here. There's always a massive gathering, but I should probably go. Man, sometimes bike guy is the worst guy to hang out with, and I don't know. I hate when people compare specs on their bikes, and I have this, and it's better than that for this reason. I'm like, man, none of us are good enough to really notice any of those differences. Like, it's like the guy who complains about 223 compared to 556. Like, give me a break. You can't tell the difference. And if you could tell the difference, you're probably cool enough where you wouldn't have a conversation about that type of stupid stuff anyways. That's another hobby. I don't know how much I'm actually into it. Like, maybe it's just something I like, but I might not be like super interested in it. Is like gun stuff. I like it, and I got the cool toys and stuff, but it's not like I'm dying every weekend to go to the range. I don't know. It's weird. I don't really know what I'm into, I guess. Off-roading is cool. Not that what I've done so far could really be considered off-roading, but it's just stressful. I don't want to break my daily driver, and it's expensive. Everything I like is expensive. That's the other problem. Trying to be a little bit less focused on things and more focused on experiences. There are some things, though, that like Lindsay and I talk about every time we have a record night. I just kick it in the living room and take turns putting a record on. And we always end up having the conversation about when we're old, we're just going to really appreciate all of our tour posters that we have hanging up. But I think that's different than a lot of things. Put some ice cubes in the Camelback today. Good decision. Should have put on some sunblock. Yeah, Darby loves it here. Sometimes take him at nighttime. It gets a little bit spooky on these trails at night. Like weird Florida wildlife making noises. Like there's always the thought in the back of your head that there could be a bear. You know, how's Darby going to react and whatever. And it reminds me of the cemetery trail. Like spend all day free riding in Oneida. Like coming home on the cemetery trail right when it's getting dark. Freaked me out a little bit. Like, are there werewolves coming after me from that movie